Hello everybody watching this video. Welcome to the part number 3 of vocabulary boost series. So let's get into it. The first word is beckon. It's a verb and it means to move hand or head to tell someone to come nearer. And if something beckons, it attracts people. It appears inviting. And also, if an event or achievement beckons, it's likely to happen. Examples: number 1, he beckoned to me as if he wanted to speak to me. Number 2, he beckoned to the other generals to come and stand where he stood. 3, Frank beckoned to the waiter. She beckoned the waiter to come over. 4, for many young people, the bright lights of the city beckon, though a lot of them end up sleeping on the streets. Beckon here means to attract. 5, she's an excellent student for whom a wonderful future beckons. Beckons here means waits. It will happen in future. Beckon. Blunder. Blunder is a word that can be used as a noun or as a verb. When it's used as a noun, it means a serious error or mistake, which results from stupidity, ignorance, or carelessness. And when it's used as a verb, it means to move in an awkward way, in an unsteady way, confusedly, clumsily. Examples: number 1, he said that the tax was a major political blunder. 2, I made a blunder by getting his name wrong. 3, the company was struggling after a series of financial blunders. Struggling or to struggle means to be in danger of failing or being defeated. Example number 4, I could hear him blundering around in the darkness. 5, the exhausted boy blundered through the woods. Example number 6, the general's blunder forced his army to a rapid retreat. Blunder. Daze. When it's used as a verb, it means to stupefy, to stun. Also, it means to dazzle with light. To dazzle with light means to lose clear vision, especially by looking at bright light. And when it's used as a noun, it's used in a daze phrase. And in a daze phrase means unable to think clearly. It means a state of stunned confusion or bewilderment. Example number 1, the first punch dazed him. 2, he was dazed with happiness. 3, they were dazed by his response. 4, I was dazed by the bright sun. 5, she was wandering around in a daze this morning. 6, as you will understand, this has left the town dazed and in complete shock. 7, dazed by the flashlight, Maria blundered down the steps. Daze. Dazed is the adjective form of daze and it means very confused and unable to think clearly due to injury, shock, bewilderment, fatigue, etc. Examples. Example number 1, you are looking rather dazed. Is something wrong? Example number 2, a dazed expression. 3, the driver in the accident appeared dazed but not badly hurt. Example number 4, after a long walk, he came home feeling dazed. 5, after a particularly fierce blow, he crawled to his feet too dazed to rush. Fierce means violent. It means frightening, strong or powerful, and blow means explosion. Example number 6, he had a dazed look on his face. Dazedly, it is the adverb form of daze. Example, a lethargy so complete that he could lie on his bed for an hour at a time, staring dazedly into space. Dazedness, it is the noun form of daze and it is the state of mental confusion. Example, Marcella seems to struggle to keep up with the swirling pace of life around her, and her dazedness slowly gives way to hallucinated conversations with long-gone relatives. Swirling pace of life. Subside. Subside is a verb and it means to become less strong or extreme. It means to become less violent. If a building, land or water subsides, it goes down to a lower level. And the synonyms of subside are abate, decline, fade, relieve, moving downward, fall down, descend. Example number 1. The police are hoping that the violence will soon subside. 2. As the pain in my foot subsided, I was able to walk the short distance to the car. 3. There is a danger that many homes will subside because of the drought. Example number 4. Eventually, the flood waters began to subside. Eventually, the flood waters began to subside. 5. After the excessive rains stopped, the flood waters subsided. Example number 6. Danny's anger subsided when the culprit apologized. Subside. Subsidence is the noun form of subside. Examples. Example number 1. The building had to be demolished because of subsidence. Example number 2. The model assumes constant tectonic subsidence and a random variation in sea level. 3. We consider two different scenarios of ground subsidence control. Command. It's a verb and it means to formally praise someone or something. It means to recommend as worthy or as worthy of confidence or notice. Synonyms are praise, applaud, admire. Example number 1. The judge commended her for her bravery, or the judge commended her on her bravery. Example number 2. It says on the back of the book, highly commended. 3. Lamos should be commended for creating important opportunities for minority actors. 4. The editors and contributors are to be commended for producing such a thought-provoking and at the same time useful work. Commend. Commendable is the adjective form of commend and it means admirable, praiseworthy, laudable, notable, and the antonym of commendable is reprehensible. Example. The reporter did a commendable job under difficult circumstances. And the adverb form of commend is commendably. And commendably means in a way that deserves praise. Example. So far, they have been commendably calm. And the other example is Gonzalez is doing his job commendably well. Gonzalez is doing his job commendably well. Exempt. It's a word that can be used as a verb or as an adjective or as a noun. And when it's used as a verb, it means to excuse someone or something from a duty, payment, etc. And as an adjective, it means with special permission not to do or pay something. And when it's used as a noun, it means one exempted or freed from duty. Examples. 1. Small businesses have been exempted from tax increase. 2. Goods exempt from this tax include books and children's clothes. 3. Pregnant women are exempt from dental charges under the current health system. 4. Non-profit organizations are exempt from taxes. 5. The governor plans to exempt small businesses from the tax increase. Exempt. Face covering exemption cards. Exemption is the noun form of exempt, and it means special permission not to do or pay something. Examples. 1. Candidates with a qualification in chemistry have exemption from this course. Number 2. Organizations may qualify for exemptions. Number 2. Organizations may qualify for exemption from income tax if they operate exclusively as charities. Number 3. He was granted exemption from military service during World War II. Homestead Exemption. The Homestead Exemption provides an exemption from property taxes on a home. Example. Farmers can qualify for both the Homestead Exemption and the Farmstead Exemption. And let's see two more examples for exempt. 1. Our school exempts bright students from final exams. 2. Juvenile offenders are not exempt from punishment. Vain. It's an adjective and it means unsuccessful, of no value. Also, it means selfish and proud, too interested in your own appearance or achievements. And in vain phrase means unsuccessfully. Examples. Number 1. It was vain to pretend to himself that he was not disappointed. Number 2. The doctors gave him more powerful drugs in the vain hope that he might recover. 3. I tried in vain to start a conversation. 4. All the police's efforts to find him were in vain. 5. He was too vain about his hair and his clothes. 6. Susan was quite vain about her beauty. 7. Brian made numerous vain attempts to reach the doctor by telephone. Vainly is the adverb form of vain and it means unsuccessfully. Example. Number 1. He tried vainly to make them listen. 2. I threw it away, feeling sorry to have vainly destroyed a flower that looked beautiful in its proper place. Vain or vain or vain. Here you can see three different writings of vain, which all of them sound same. The first one, which is written in VAIN, means unsuccessful, of no value, or too proud or selfish. And the second form is VEIN, and it means the tubes inside of body carrying blood. And the last one is VANE. It's a flat blade that is moved by wind or water, and it is usually used for determining the direction of wind or water. And for wind, we usually use weather vane. Appoint. Appoint is a verb. It means to choose someone officially for a job or responsibility, or to name officially. And also it means to arrange a date or time when a meeting or other event will happen, to fix or set officially. And the third meaning is to furnish, to equip. Examples. Number 1. The library was appointed as the best place for the urgent meeting. 2. Though Mr. Thompson was appointed to a high position, he didn't neglect his old friends. 3. A date has been appointed for the election. 4. Commissioner Curtis was appointed by President Bush. 5. Start the meeting at the appointed time and stick to the agenda. 6. The court will have the power to make decisions on behalf of these individuals or appoint a manager to make the decisions. Appoint. Appointed as a director. Appointee is the noun form of appoint, and it is someone who has been chosen officially for a job or responsibility. Examples. Example number 1. A government appointee. 2. The new appointee will be working closely with both departments. 3. 1 in 5 of the appointees is female. 4. The announcement of the presidential appointees to the cabinet. Appointment is the other noun form of appoint, and it is the act of officially choosing someone for a job or the job itself. And also it means a formal agreement to meet or visit someone at a particular time or place. Examples. 1. I'd like to make an appointment with Dr. Evans, please. I'd like to make an appointment with Dr. Evans, please. 2. She had to cancel her dental appointment. 3. I have got a 2 o'clock appointment with Miss Edwards. 4. That's the second appointment he has missed. 5. We would like to announce the appointment of Julia Lewis as head of sales. 6. His appointment as chairman is likely to be announced this week. Appointment. Doctor's appointment. Roam. Roam is a verb. It means to drift, to wander, to going without any plan or aim. Also, it means to connect to a mobile phone service that is not the one that you normally use. For example, if you are in another country or on the borders of your own country. Also, it means to touch or look in a sexual way. Also, it means to have sexual relationships outside of your marriage. Examples. She roamed around America for a year working in bars and restaurants. 2. Livestock are allowed to roam unrestricted in these villages. 3. Life is not about roaming and avoiding obstacles around. 4. We are sick of fighting off roaming hands on dates. 5. There are some people who are faithful and some who tend to roam. 6. She put up with a roaming husband in order to protect her child. Put up here means to endure, to bear. Roam. Roamer is the noun form of roam, and it is someone who likes to travel, especially without a clear idea of what they want to do. And also it means someone who moves from one country to another to live or walk. Example number 1. He's a bit of a roamer, so he could be anywhere in the country. 2. Roamers move abroad with just a couple of suitcases on a regular basis in search of professional or personal opportunities. Confine. It's a verb. It means to keep someone or something within limits. Also, it means to keep someone close in a place. It is often by force. And synonyms of confine are enclose, imprison, trap, cage, limit. Examples. 1. Please confine your use of phone to business calls. Example number 2. By closing the infected farms, we are hoping to confine the disease to the north of the region. 3. The hostages had been confined for so long that they couldn't cope with the outside world. Confine, enclose, cage, trap, limit, imprison. And the noun form of confine is confinement. It means the situation in which a person or an animal is kept somewhere, and it's done usually by force. Example. She spent most of those years under house arrest or close confinement. Jest. Jest is a word when it's used as a noun. It means something said to be funny, joke, mockery. And when it's used as a verb, it means to joke, to poke fun. And when it's used in jest phrase, in jest means intended as a joke and not said seriously. Example number 1. His proposal was no jest. He was completely sincere. 2. Would I jest about something so important? 3. We were able to laugh aloud at every jest. 4. I only said it in jest. You are obviously not fat. 5. His remarks about the Beatles were in jest. 6. Don't jest about the matters of morality. Jest. Valor. Valor is a noun and it means great courage, great bravery. Examples. He was promoted to the rank of major, in recognition of his valor during the battle. He was promoted to the rank of major in recognition of his valor during the battle. 2. The royalists fought with valor, but the battle turned into a complete defeat for them. 3. The valor of Vietnam veterans deserves the highest commendations. Commendations means praises. Valorous. Valorous means brave, courageous. Example. They gave us valorous help in our hour of difficulty. Valor, valorous, brave, bravery. Lunatic. When it's used as a noun, it means someone who behaves in a silly or dangerous way. Fool, crazy, insane, a person who is mentally ill. And when it's used as an adjective, it means silly in a dangerous way. Example number 1. He drives like a lunatic. 2. Another of his lunatic ideas. 3. Only a lunatic would willingly descended into the monster's cave. Only a lunatic would willingly descend into the monster's cave. Lunatic. Patriot. Patriot is a noun and it means a person who loves their country and if necessary they will fight for it. Patriotic is the adjective form of patriot. Example. Candidates love to associate themselves with patriotic values. Patriotism. Patriotism is the love of one's country and the desire to defend it. Example. This really calls into question his patriotism. Patriot. Patriotic, patriotism. Wobble. Wobble, when it's used as a verb, it means to move unsteadily, to move unsteadily from side to side, which shows poor balance. To wobble means to be uncertain, and when it's used as a noun, it means unsteady movement, a feeling of being uncertain. Examples: number 1, the bookcase wobbles whenever you put something on it. 2, the government cannot afford to wobble on this issue. 3, I gave the poles a slight wobble and the whole tent collapsed. 4, she's having a bit of wobble about the move to New York. Here, wobble means uncertainty. 5, the table wobbles because its legs are uneven. They are not equal. 6, share prices have recovered from last autumn's wobble. Wobble. We will wobble. Wobbly is the adjective form of wobble, and it means likely to wobble, uncertain. Examples: 1, a wobbly ladder, a wobbly table. 2, I have been in bed with flu and my legs feel a little wobbly. 3, the baby took a few wobbly steps toward me. 4, last week I felt sure I was doing the right thing, but I have started to feel a bit wobbly about it. Wobbly. So we are done with the 3rd episode of the Vocabulary Boost series, and I thank you for your time and attention. And I hope to see you in the 4th episode of the Vocabulary Boost series. Bye for now.